Hey, this is Nathalie Kalbach, and I'm here with my super sweet and dear friend, Andrea Gomoll from Germany. And I'm so stoked that Andrea is back at Creative Jumpstart. I think Andrea has been with Creative Jumpstart at least 9 times.
I think so. First of all, hello. Nice to be here, so happy to be here again. Feels like home already. Yeah, I don't know. I think the first time when you started with Creative Jumpstart, I haven't been part of it, but from starting to the second time, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I know you were almost in for the 10-year, 10 times. But so Andrea and I go back like a long time. We basically started with the whole journey almost at the same time together. Also taught our first workshop together in 2006 or maybe 4, somewhere around that time in Berlin, actually. And so she's a wonderful mixed media artist. She's always been super curious of trying out new techniques and materials, and that's why we clicked back in the days, like 14 or 16 years ago. You know, time is floating, but it's a long time ago. Let's make it 15. That's round. And
old.
Yeah, I know it sounds old, but I've seen her many times, and I've seen her actually maybe 2 years ago, or was it last year? 2 years ago, where we were teaching together at the Baltic Sea. So, hey, Andrea, how are you?
I'm fine. So, we've just been talking a little bit in German, so I have to get back into English now. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm wonderful, and I'm again excited to be here. Happy to be here. Happy to be part of Creative Jumpstart again. It's like it already like is part of my year. So yeah, I'm really excited for it, and happy to be here and chat with you.
Yeah. So Andrea, I've been looking through, I always look at your Instagram, but I've been looking a little bit more through your Instagram to also check in with you on some things that you have done lately and ask some questions. You created this beautiful deck of cards that you call the Creative's Creation, which is your artist name, Creative Creation Oracle deck. So tell us a little bit more about that project.
Yeah, it's a true card project for me. I actually wanted to create, or let's start, I'm a collector of Oracle decks for many years. I actually started to collect them because of the artwork, because it's just a wonderful collection of teeny tiny pieces of art, actually, from your favorite artists. And I'm also into a little bit into the spiritual range or interest in that. So yeah, that's how I got started. Collecting Oracle decks and tarot decks, and I think 2 or 3 years ago that idea started to slowly cook inside of me. Did you say that? I don't know. To create an own deck with my art. However, I kind of always pushed it away because it's quite a big, huge cut, actually. Because you can't just create a deck with just 10 cards. So you have to at least 40, 50, 60 cards. And that's why I kind of always, I actually started a couple of times even, but I think I fell off the bandwagon after a couple of cards. And it was kind of, yeah, at the beginning of this year when I planned, or when I started to plan what I really want to bring to life this year, and I decided it's time for that. So I really literally got started at January 1st, sitting down and starting to plan the cards, and it was just such an amazing, fun project because with my art I always try to tell a story, which is kind of a perfect match for this year's Creative Jumpstart theme. So for me, storytelling and art kind of goes very well together. So my idea was not just to put my 48 pieces of art on the cards, because there are decks out there that present a beautiful artwork, but you look at the card and you think, what does the person's trying to tell you with the card? Because usually if you pick the card, it's supposed to tell you something, give you some insight, and tell a story, a certain story. So I had that, to create cards that you can really read intuitively, and that really tell you something when you pull the card and look at it, right? So that was another thing loaded on top, which didn't make it like an easy endeavor, but it was just so fun, and it took me, I think, like 3 months to finish the 48 cards.
That's it?
Yeah, actually, my idea was to finish it during the year, but I had published by the end of the year, but actually it went faster than I thought, because once I got started, I was so hooked, and I had so many ideas, and whenever I have an idea, I really want to do it now. Like, I got up at 3 at night, and all of a sudden I had so many ideas and so many like card ideas flying around that even created more cards than I had space for in the deck. So I had to select some in the end, because it was just really so much fun to first come up with words, with meanings, and then find symbols and things, elements that kind of tell the story in a visual way, because I didn't want a deck that kind of holds a couple of phrases. There are decks out there that kind of have something good on it, but I wanted to have like one keyword max on the card, because I kind of wanted the artwork to speak for itself. And I also wanted to give everybody the option to have like find their own personal meaning. Because I'm not a friend of telling somebody it means this and that, but everybody kind of finds a personal meaning. And it was really fun, and I published that deck, and I have to say that I finished the whole project before COVID-19 came around, and I started the pre-orders, and I ordered with the manufacturer, and then COVID-19 came around, and I thought, yeah, Andrea, best tiny award in the world. Not. It was like, it took me until mid-September to finally be able to ship the decks to every spot in the world, because all of a sudden our German post decided to completely pick some shipping options out, and then I couldn't ship to Australia, then I was not able to ship to the USA at all. Then they raised the prices. Usually you have been able to ship like for 10 euros, and now it's like 55 euros, which is, it's not like, it's no option. And it was crazy, and I was like really, really thinking so many times, why did I do that? So like a dream project kind of turned into a nightmare project. But in the end, everything turned out, and everybody who pre-ordered the deck was very, very happy. So if somebody's watching, pre-ordered the deck, thank you so much, because everybody was just so sweet and understanding and supportive, and there was literally nobody canceling the order, because I was afraid everybody was cancel the pre-orders, and I ordered the decks, and now I have a pile of decks here. But everybody was super supportive and really waited patiently. So I found some help also in the US and in Australia, so I batch shipped all of the decks to that person, and then it got sent within the country, because that was the only option. But now everything arrived, and I'm just happy, and everybody's happy. And
I know when you told me that story, I was like, oh man, because I mean, I know I have actually for the first time in a long time sent something internationally out like 2 weeks ago, and I was unbelievably happy that it came into the Netherlands in 1 week. which is pretty fast in normal times. So, yeah, that was pretty, I was like, oh, poor Andrea. You're like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. And I'm so glad that it turned out well. And I think having all of us being in this time together basically helped, I bet, with a lot of understanding. So, whew.
Still, if I ever do something like that again, I'm really double and triple checking that there's no pandemic.
So, Andrea, you also posted some really gorgeous nighttime galaxy watercolor recently, like paintings. What inspired you to those paintings?
What inspired me? Actually, for me, they're, first of all, they're a perfect combination of what I usually do, like whimsical, playful, very colorful work. And another thing that I love is nature, landscape, but I'm not so much into like traditional landscape painting or landscape watercolor. And for me, those nighttime scenes or galaxy skies, or it's like a perfect combination. You can do a little bit of nature, like some nature scenes, some shadow scenes with some trees and birds and stuff. Yet you have that great option to be completely free and loose with the colors. You can do whatever you want, and also it gives you that option to really use the watercolors to their full potential, because you don't have to manipulate them a lot, because you can really just let them do their thing and let them blend and bleed and mix and mingle. And it's, for me, it's really like a meditative process almost. So whenever I feel like I want to create something, but nothing that takes too much like details and precision, and I'm not always up for that. But a little like galaxy is always so much fun. You just sit down and you just grab like, I don't know, a couple of colors and get started, and it's so inspired. And all of a sudden you create a beautiful piece of art, or it actually created and that's what I really love about it, that you can use the same couple of techniques again and again, and you end up with something completely different, because there's
Coincidences. No, that's not the right word, but yeah, like
watercolors do that.
Yeah.
You end up with something completely different
right.
in the end. And that's what I really love about it. And with those night sky scenes, you can fully embrace that. And it involves a lot of splatters.
Which you loved always.
Always. As far as like, even back in the days when I was scrapbooking, there were always like splatters. For me, nothing is finished without splatters. Probably if I look at something and think, something's missing, splatters. So it's a combination of many things that I love. And I think I will continue to explore this a little more, maybe on a larger scale. So far, we're working on a smaller scale. But I think this would be a thing that would be awesome on a larger scale. So, yeah, really excited to dig a little deeper into that.
That is so cool. So we mentioned this before, for Creative Jumpstart 2021, the theme is storyteller. And as you said, you're a big storyteller in your artwork. But as a little red thread through all the interviews that I'm doing this year, I was thinking it would be fun to ask you guys to gather something that you have in your studio that brings you joy, or you love to have around, and if possible, show it and tell us the story about it. What you got?
So I actually, let me just start with it's not one thing, not one element, but it's like a group of things that I always have everywhere around me, because it just inspires me so much. It's like stones and crystals and, I don't know, little wood sticks or seashells, or I don't know, feathers. I've always been like a collector of stones and things in nature. Even when I was a little child, I was always had my bags, filled with stones and what are they called? Castanien.
Oh yeah, chestnuts and
chestnuts. Acorns. Whatever it was. At the beach when we've been on the Baltic every year, I've been taking like buckets of seashells. You would always find me hunting for that perfect shell. I don't know, it just inspires me so much. And I also realize with my art, I always have some crystals or something around because, first of all, I just love the energy that kind of gives me. It's kind of totally inspiring me. And actually, when you ask a question, I kind of dig a little deeper why it's inspiring me also for my art. And I came to that realization that I never, with our artwork, we tend to be a little critical. Self-criticism, this isn't perfect and that isn't perfect and there's something that I could have done different or better. But I realized if I look at all those things, they're so inspiring because none of them is like perfect, yet each one is so special. Like it has cracks on it, and there are little imperfections on all of them, but we are not looking for them.
Right.
I look at this fabric, and I just think it's like so pretty. I would not even think about that maybe there's an imperfection. But if I paint a feather, I look at it in a different way, and I look at it and I could have done. But nature, there's such a huge variety in nature, and there are actually no imperfections because it's just what makes it special and unique. Even those like normal stones that you can find everywhere, and if you look at that, you can really find beauty in that too, right? So if I had that around when I create, not only that it's like inspiring for me and I love the energy, but it's also like a constant reminder that whatever you create, it doesn't need to be like super perfect, right? It's unique because you create it, and it's unique. And sometimes those imperfections makes it even more unique, actually, because that perfection is like so boring and changeable, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's inspiring for me. So I really always have crystals everywhere and stones and stuff. And it's just, I love it.
I love it. I love this a lot. That's a really good point.
I don't want to produce whatever I do, like create perfection. I just want to create something that's interesting, that's like making me happy. So
yeah, it's perfection and imperfection, right? Like that's what's really beautiful. I agree on that. Yeah, so I'm looking really forward to your video. I know it's going to be awesome, and the theme is perfect for you. And every year I'm like, yay, can't wait. It's always super inspiring because you have the greatest ideas. So I can't wait to see how you will show us how you, I don't know, if you, there's many possibilities about storytelling, right?
Well, I already got some ideas, and I can't wait to dig a little deeper into it and to do some more brainstorming and then to share it with you.
That's awesome. So until then, where can people find you online?
Yes, you can find me on my website, Andrea-Gomoll.de. I'm sure it's somewhere around there. Right? And actually Instagram. Those are my two main locations. Not so much into Facebook anymore. I'm posting on Facebook, but I'm not like available on Facebook. So Instagram basically is where I share daily in my stories and posts on Instagram. And I have a YouTube channel. You can check that out too. There's not a lot of current things going on, but there are like hundreds of videos of past tutorials, so if you want to check that out. But in general, Instagram, that's where you'll find me, and where you can also contact me if you have any questions or whatever. So, yeah.
So that's awesome. Please sign up for Creative Jumpstart. I tell you that it's going to be awesome. sign up with the link that you find on Andrea's social media. It's a special link, it's an affiliate link, and that will give her a bigger piece of the pie, so to speak. And we can all use that as the creatives right now in this time. So sign up through Andrea's link that you see her posting. And yeah, I can't wait to have you again. And I miss you.
I just love it. That's one thing that COVID-19, like a positive thing, we're using, or at least I'm using social media or like Zoom and calls and everything so much more. And I feel so much more connected to a lot of people than actually before. And that's a good thing. And I think it's actually quite magical that we have those options and those possibilities, right? So yeah, it was so good to see you.
You too. Tschüss.